So, in a lot of men's communities, men believe sexless marriage is a man's problem. You and I know different, don't we?
Yeah, there are so many women that talk about it as something that they're experiencing. And so I think it's probably fairly even split.
From some of the studies I've seen, it really is, because it is a universal problem, not a men's problem. And quite honestly, whoever is the one not interested usually bears the brunt of the fault. However, as the man, if you haven't been dating your wife, growing intimacy and connection, and working on yourself, you're the fucking problem. Until you do that, and then she's still not interested, then she's the problem.
Yeah.
And we see on the women you know that have sexless relationships that are unhappy. Now, that's the other thing, guys. The women are unhappy being in sexless relationships. They want intimacy, connection, and sex with their partner. It's really not a man's problem. It is a couple's problem because, again, we didn't know. We've got to keep dating our wife. We got to focus on growing connection and intimacy. And we have to take care of ourselves.
Yes. So, a lot of the times I hear from women that it's, he's got this health problem or this health problem that he's refusing to do anything about. He won't even make himself his own doctor's appointments. And he won't take care of it, and that's a big contributor.
Most of the men that you're personally aware of are overweight, borderline or diabetic, and probably haven't had their T level checked in forever.
Yes.
And all of those metabolic related issues, if you've got type 2 diabetes, that's self-inflicted 99% of the time due to lifestyle choices, lack of exercise, eating too much highly processed food, and can be reversed. Type 2 diabetes is a reversible illness. Don't listen to your doctor, because most doctors have their head up their ass.
Well, I'm not going to say that. Yeah.
They do. They get no nutritional. They don't ever treat the root cause. They treat the symptoms. Yeah. And the reality is, when you lose weight, you have better blood flow.
Yeah.
It stops killing your testosterone when you're exercising and sleeping. All these things help in a positive way. And, the good rule of thumb is, do you have morning erections? Not every morning, but do you have a good, healthy erection in the morning? That's a sign you're in good health.
Right.
Good news, babe. This morning, I verified I was in good health.
That is awesome.
But if you look like you're pregnant, man, and you're not exercising, and you're watching porn as your only way to experience orgasm, you're the problem. And you're doing yourself a disservice. You're doing your wife a disservice. Actually, you're doing everyone in your family and friends group a disservice because you're not showing up fully as the man you could be.
Yeah.
And then with the women, same issue.
Right.
Except you get the bonus hormones. We just have to deal with testosterone, typically.
There's 3 primary ones, and testosterone is part of that.
Mm-hmm. That actually affects sex drive more than anything.
Oh, it really does. So, just little tidbit, something I learned I didn't realize until I started really looking into the hormones. There's about 10% of women as they're going through perimenopause that just their sex drive skyrockets, right? About 10%.
Those are the mythical 10%.
Well, I believe that it's higher than that.
Oh, based on some research?
Based on the number of people that I have talked to in my personal friends circle, which isn't that big, that this has happened with. And so I started looking into it. It's because the testosterone in a woman drops at perimenopause, and that's the thing. So the thing that, that's when the sex drive goes away.
Right.
Their testosterone didn't drop with the other.
So it became a little more predominant of the other 3?
And that's why they've got crazy high sex drive.
Hence the song "Me So Horny."
So the hormones, we've got 3 primary ones that we kind of have to balance we have lots of extra added stuff there.
Now, what messes up hormones for a woman? Not exercising.
Yes.
Not getting good sleep.
Not drinking enough water. I hate
Hydration
saying
is
that.
key. How about eating a lot of shit, not real food? Same thing as the men.
Yeah.
Because of all the chemicals in this stuff.
Absolutely. Even things like you think you're eating a little healthier, you think you're, well, have steak instead of pasta. But if it's steak that has had hormones pumped into it.
Hormones pumped into it or is grain-fed and not grass-fed, grass-finished.
Right,
So
right.
our food supply has got lots of issues, but the common denominator for most people, and on average, is 65% or more of the food, the calories people consume, is highly processed foods. For women, it screws up their hormones. For men and women, it makes us fat. And this is the building blocks of your cells. So it makes you chemicals, artificial, crappy stuff. None of it is good. So, if you're a man or a woman, you're dissatisfied with your sex life, or your partner is, start taking care of yourself.
Hypocrite break.
Is that unsweetened or sweetened tea?
It's not even tea.
Oh, okay.
It's soda.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
The but your sex drive hasn't dropped, so
No, and there's a lot of factors that go into it. It's not just one thing.
That's not what the video's about. So, sexless marriages, sexless relationships is a universal problem that is curable.
Yeah.
And it's something we deal with all the time with men. All the time. Now, typically they've stopped the dating, but as they take care of themselves, get themselves right, and become a grounded, confident man, a lot of them heal their sexless marriages. And I've seen some that have been sexless a long time get healed. The realistic thing to realize is once you hit 5 years sexless marriage, statistically, changing that is hard. Not impossible, but a lot more difficult.
So to be even-handed, because I can just hear people out there getting mad that we're picking on men.
Oh, yeah. Well, I've been accused of that.
To be even-handed women, if you, your behavior is nitpicking and micromanaging and being his mother, that's going to affect his willingness to engage.
Oh, yeah. So half the men turn their marriages around that come to work with us and mentor men. The other half realize, I have a partner I no longer want to be with. She doesn't meet my standards. She doesn't have my values anymore. And they go on to become happily divorced men because they find partners that are amazing. Because not all men and not all women have these issues. Yeah, so if you're a naggy woman who's not taking care of herself and is always saying no when it comes to sex, and you have a man who's worked on himself and turned it around, don't be surprised if someday he goes, I'm tired of being roommates, I want a divorce. And that's very reasonable at that stage.
Yeah.
All right. You want to send hate mail? My contact information will be below. I'll include Melanie's too, although she won't get the hate mail. I was the one blaming. But I'm blaming the men who are not taking care of themselves and taking care of the relationship. And you are supposed to lead the sex and romance department, men, not her. And as long as you see her as the gatekeeper, you're never going to be able to heal this issue in your relationship. All right, guys, come join us at Mentoring Men. We have free courses that also address dead bedrooms and helping you turn that around. So reach out, have a free session. We'll catch you next time.